Welcome, friends. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about propagation and from graphics that I originated some 20 odd years ago. And given that our sunspot cycle is roughly on par to that time, and I'm not even sure that I used the sunspots from that era even to create this graphic. We're talking about propagation. I'm sorry. This is propagation 24 hours and what bands are suitable to my location here in Seattle. And for that era, which I say is roughly corresponds to the sunspot cycle that we're currently in right now in 2022. So I'm going to show you the graphics, first with a scale. Here's our scale. This is the colors for frequency bands of greater than 28 megs, about 10 meters, greater than 24, greater than 21, greater than 18, greater than 14, so we're down to 20 meters, 20 meters now, greater than 10, and less than 10, which would be, 40 meters and lower. These colors are going to appear on a globe that indicates what working areas I could expect by virtue of the sunspot cycle. So, moving into those graphics. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, this is okay. First, I have the map centered on a global perspective from Seattle at this point right here. This point being red signifies that I'm fine for greater than 10 megahertz operating in the region shown. Whoops. Okay. I'm getting ahead of myself now. Goodness. Let me return to that. So, here we are. I could easily be working this region right here. Let's see, that's hard to tell. Here's Africa. This is Europe. Europe at greater than 10 megahertz. This pink region here suggests that I could be working, greater than 14. The yellow regions suggest that I could be working them at greater than 18, and into the greens, and basically the upper HF. I could also be working South America, but not South America. That's off the chart. Whoop. So. This is for 2 o'clock in the morning, I believe, 3 o'clock, 4, 5, 6, and you'll notice this brown region, which is below 10 megahertz, is starting to emerge as the sun rises, and that the other coverages are changing dramatically as the sun rises. Now we're 8 o'clock in the morning, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're at the solar maximum, roughly. That is overhead. And it's beginning to show in these lines as it goes in. Well, it's certainly setting over in this area. So 3 o'clock in the afternoon. 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, and we're starting to get into the late night and returning to the first representation. This is all of those running in a continuous loop. So this is a full day of DXing, and the bands that you can expect to be working in with facility during the day or the night as it progresses against this schedule. So again, we're running a 24-hour cycle here, centered on Seattle, operating in the various bands, typically above 10 megahertz. So that was a quick survey of propagation that I whipped together some years ago. It's something that is not even close to reality even now, because it was done at one time and for one 24-hour period, and that isn't now. There are plenty of online systems for doing pretty much the same thing. VOA CAP was a tool for the Voice of America, and its propagation predictions. I'm not sure if that tool is still out there, but it's probably available somewhere. Give it a look. So I'm going to end the discussion right here. There's a quick survey of propagation. I don't explain the hows or whys or any of that. It's just the what. This is what's available at a particular point in time over 24 hours for a certain sunspot cycle. Your mileage may vary. 73s.